Hello everyone, Cello Guru in the house. How's everybody doing today? It's a little bit cold here. I've got my wonderful hand warmer. This one's the orange one. I have two different hand warmers. This helps me when I'm freezing to death, which I am right now. Welcome to the cello class number 2, Bridge Over Troubled Water. It's nice to see everyone here. Write your name in the chat. Let us know where you're joining us from. Hello, everyone. Yay, nice to see you guys here. A lot's been going on today, so I'm just glad to be here at the right time, at the right place for you guys and with you guys, just so we can play some music together, right? It's going to be super fun. Have you guys gotten into this chord chart yet? Have you guys been playing Bridge Over Troubled Water? Oh my God, it's so beautiful, right? His voice is so pretty on this, Garfunkel's, isn't it? It's really, really beautiful. Hello Heidi from Switzerland. Hello Dot from freezing New York. Hello April, nice to see you guys. Everybody who comes in, write your name in the chat. Tell us where you're joining us from. So welcome to class number 2, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Last week we worked some on the melody and some of the positions you might use. Someone asked if I could put some fingerings on a chord chart, which I did. So you guys can reprint chord charts and they have fingerings on them. It's got an incorrect fingering, so I just want to straighten that out right now. In bar 16, the fingering is 1, 3, 1, because we have a C sharp, okay? In bar 16, 1, 3, 1. And that's repeated in bar 20, 1, 3, 1. Anywhere you have a C, it's going to be a C sharp. It's going to be third finger, okay? Just wanted to clear that up. Now, let's work a little on bass line today, okay? It's a basic way to start working on your chord charts, okay? Everybody's at different levels. You want to challenge yourself if you're at a different level than the level I'm teaching. I'm teaching level, intermediate, lower intermediate to higher intermediate. Everybody's got a different amount of experience in different areas. So the chord chart was on the chat, and it's posted every morning before the class. I post it on Cello Nation. So that's where it is. Okay, so if we're looking at the key for Bridge Over Troubled Water, we've got 2 sharps, right? What are the sharps? It's always the same 2 sharps. If you have 2, it's always in the same order. F sharp and C sharp, right? It's just something you memorize. You just start to know it. Fat cat Garfield doesn't always eat bananas. That's the order of the sharps, always. So that means if there's 1 sharp, it's going to be F sharp, fat, okay? Fat cat is 2 sharps. It's always like that. So we have F sharp and we have C sharp, right? It's something that you might already kind of know, and then you go, oh yeah, that's right. That makes it a little bit so that I understand it a little better. Hi Adrian, hi Barbara, nice to see you guys. Okay, so if we're working on the bass line for Bridge Over Troubled Water, we got to look at the chord chart, and we got to look at the alphabet letters that are above the staff. Hi Dwight, nice to see you. Hi Wendy. So the notes above the staff, not the written notes, right? We're talking about the chords now. And some of this is just terminology that you guys are going to start to understand as soon as we start to talk about it more. The chord for the first bar, not the pickup bar with 2 notes, but the first bar after that, which is bar 1, the chord is D, right? It says D, right? What does D mean? D is going to mean D, F sharp, A. It's an arpeggio. So the root to our chord is going to be, that's the bottom note. The bass player is always going to be playing that. That's the basic bottom of the whole beginning of this piece. So you go. That's the root to the D chord. Here's the arpeggio for the D chord. Do, mi, so, do starts on a D, right? So D is called the root. So if we're playing, that's the root for 4 beats, because there's 4 beats in the first bar. The second bar, the root is going to be what's written above the staff, G. Right? That's why this is an amazing study, because it's going to teach you all the tools you need to figure out how to make a background part when someone else is playing the melody. And you're even going to learn how to accompany yourself when you're playing the melody. Harmony notes. The harmony notes are the notes that we talked about, the arpeggio notes in the chord. But the first note you got to think about is the root. It's always going to help you to be thinking about the root of the chord that's written above the staff, not the notes you're reading, right? So in order to do this, we got to figure out what's our time signature. How many root notes are we going to put per bar, right? And if you have any questions, just write them in the chat, guys, okay? How many in 4/4, how many Ds do we need in the first bar? 4, right? If you're going to do a very simple bass line, it's always good to be simple to start. Which D are you going to use? You could use any D. This is your study. But this one's going to be the lowest one that we have. So that's going to be more a bass note, right? You could use the open string. At first, when you do this, sometimes you just jump onto open strings because you can't think of where the note is, right? So open string, oh, I know there's an open D. That's fine. Then you'll learn that this is more of a bass note than this, right? Okay, so you're going to use 4 open Ds unless you decide to do 8th notes. Maybe you get bored with quarter notes. How many 8th notes would you do in a bar of 4/4? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? You do 8 8th notes in a bar of 4. So that means if I were doing 8th notes, I would do 8 Ds and I would do 8 Gs, right? So, you've got a G, then you've got C, G. We'll just 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4th bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you're doing quarter notes, 4th bar, 2 Gs, and a C, and a G, okay? So you kind of got to be an explorer with a chord chart, figure out what am I going to do, which octave am I going to use? Which rhythm am I going to use that'll make 4 beats, right? And then also, how many chords are in the bar? So if there's 2 chords in the bar, you got to split your beats between those 2 chords, right? Usually it's written out so you can see which beat the chord is on. So for example, the 4th bar, 2 Gs, 1 C, 1 G, if you're using quarter notes. And I've written it so that you can see where it is. Sometimes you have to just kind of make it up so that it fits into that bar because you can't see exactly where the chord changes, but in this case you can, right? And then if we have 5, 6, 7, 8. If we're doing quarter notes, 2 Ds and 2 Gs, right? Again, what is this? It's the root. It's the bass. The bass and the root are the same thing, okay? Bass and the root. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, bar 9. Bar 9 has something D, and then the second beat's a D2. The third beat is a D over a C sharp, which just means a D chord over a C sharp root, or a C sharp bass, okay? So you're going to hit the C sharp, because that's the bass, and we're doing the bass, right? So 2 Ds, a C sharp, and a B. So that bar, bar 9, is going to sound like this. Pretty, right? It's going to go down to the next bar, which is an A. So bar 9 is going to go like this. That's bar 10, A's, right? So that's a moving bass line. Just follow the note to the right of the slash, okay? Now it's going to come up again in bar 12. Do you see it? 10, 11, 12. We got 2 Ds, then we got a D chord over a C sharp root. That one's a little harder to figure out where to change it. Just change that on the last quarter note. So in bar 12, 1, 2, 3, C sharp, C, and then D. Let's try that. Bar 13. Let's do bar 13. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, and then G. Okay? So that's kind of how we're going to read this. So let's try a little bit of this. First, I want to play this for you so you can hear what we're doing. Because now you might be going, what the heck is going on? I don't know what's going on. Maybe you do know. Maybe you have more experience. Maybe you don't. I want you to hear what I'm having you work on, okay? So I recorded the melody on my phone. Really easy, just recorded it on voice memos with a metronome, because it's easier to follow with a metronome. I'm going to play the bass line live over the melody and the metronome that I recorded, okay? You guys feel free to do this with me. If you don't want to hear it, I would suggest you listen to it and listen to what you hear. I'm going to do quarter notes. Sometimes I'm going to do connector notes. We will do those next today, okay? That's connecting from one bar to the next. So for example, in the first bar, D, I can walk up to the G if I figure out the timing, right? So I'm just going to do, and that gets me on a G in the second bar, right? You can come back to the D the same way. So guys, this is a super imperfect study. If you're just at the roots, that's fine. I'm just telling you that I'll probably throw in some connector notes. Who knows what I'll throw in, but I want you to listen, see if you can see what I'm doing, and you will hear the melody in the background playing, okay? It might be soft, I don't know. Here it goes. I'm going to supply the bass, okay? And it's just the first half of the song we're doing right now, okay? Play it along with me if you want to, if you know what you're doing. If you don't quite know how it fits, then just listen. 1, 2.
That's just 4 quarter notes. If we were going to make, now we can make that into anything we want. I could do, okay, first of all, I did this just so you could hear the note. I was attacking them with accents, right? You wouldn't necessarily do that. You might do that. That's your choice. This is finding freedom in your cello playing, so you get to play it how you want to play it, right? Now, I could have done 8th notes. 8 notes per bar, right? I could have done triplets. 2, 3, 4. That would be 12 notes per bar, right? And once you start getting comfortable with bass lines and improvisation, you'll be combining all of these. So it could be, I don't know, you can figure out whatever rhythm you like and use it all over the piece, which is really fun. It brings a unifying feeling to the whole thing. But for now, if you're on quarter notes and you're trying to access those, that's fine, right? So that is the start of the bass. Sorry, I have to turn my phone off. That's the start of the bass notes, and then we're going to be doing connector notes now, okay? So let's have you play the bass line first over my melody, okay? And see if you can stay along with it, okay? See if you can play along with it. I'm going to put it a little closer to you so you can hear the melody a little better, okay? And I will just be filling in. I don't know what I'm going to play, but I want you to play the bass line, okay? You ready? Okay. 1, 2.
on that? Were you able to read the chord chart? And if not, that's cool, you're just new at this. Maybe some of you have more experience, so you need to push yourself a little bit and figure out how to make the bass line more interesting. Come up with a fun rhythm that you want to do and still stay with the melody that's going on. Still keep one eye on what's going on the chord chart. Okay? So now let's do the connector notes on this, because these are always really fun. We are trying to walk from one chord to the next. It's not always even, right? Because sometimes we have 2 chords in a bar. Sometimes we have already a bass note, connector notes written in, like in bar 9, right? It says, that means that's what Paul Simon did there. And it sounds cool, so let's just do that, right? We don't have to do that if we don't want to, but it sounds good, and they told us to do it above the staff, not on written notes, but above the staff. So you may as well do it, unless you just don't want to do it, and then you don't have to, right? This is your study. But connector notes make us a smooth transition from one chord to the next. So I'm going to come up with 3 quarter notes and then 2 eighth notes in the key of D, right? E, F sharp, to connect from D to G. Shu is here. Yay, you guys have a sunny day in Alaska, but it's freezing here. Then again, I don't have any heat. Hello, Susan in Scotland. No heat today, but I have my nice sweater. All right, so listen. So that's my rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. That sounds like a Beatles song. Hold on, guys. Hey, Renal, I can't talk now. I'm teaching a class. 4:45, I gotta go. 4:45 your time. 4:45 your time. Okay, that's our guest speaker for TCI from Trinidad. He has no idea what time it is or when he's supposed to come in. All right. So, connector notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Okay, do you have to do that? No. You could make up another rhythm. You could make up another rhythm and get there however you want. You can do it however you want, but let's do it simple to start with, okay? So we got the first bar into the second bar. And then just come down. Alright, you can start by doing that. You can also go up. You're on a D, right? It's kind of like a math problem figuring out how to get there in the right time. Sometimes, you know, it's messy. Sometimes you do it right, sometimes you don't do it right, and then you learn from it. But start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and for connector notes, okay? It's not always going to work, depending on how many chords there are per bar, right? But if we do, for example, bar 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 2 beats of D in that bar and 2 beats of G, and if we're connecting them, we only have 1 quarter note, and then E, F sharp, G, F sharp, you see how that might work? For a bar with 2 chords in it, right? So let's do the first 4 bars, okay, with the metronome. with connector notes if you're there. If not, just work on your bass line, okay? You guys ready? And we'll see how it works. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Connector notes. Now we're coming down. 1, 2, 3. Let's do the second line. Did you try the bottle rock concentric yet? It might work, Shu. Okay, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that's okay. Okay, so we are talking about connector notes in our chord chart, right? And I'm just giving you guys an idea of how you can spice up your bass line, right? So in bar 9, let's do the written part like this. C sharp, B, A. Now we gotta connect an A to a D chord. You can go up like that in bar 11, okay? Connecting the notes so that you land on the right beat at the right time, basically, right? So let's try what would bar 10 sound like, doing that whole line. I have 4 beats of A, 3 beats of A, then walking up to a D chord, 2 Ds, 2 C sharps, 2 Cs, then 2 Ds. And maybe you can hear it melodically, but you just can't quite do it yet in your fingers. Remember, we're going to stay in the key of D, right? Let's try bar 10 together, okay? See if you can connect some of those. If not, just play your quarter notes, okay? Bar 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You see how that works, guys? You might have to practice it a little bit. Let's try it one more time, okay? Let's do bar 12. 2 Ds, 2 Cs, 2 Ds, 2 C sharps, 2 Cs, and then a D, right? And I connected the D into the next bar. Let's try bar 12. It's a D. Ready? Go. 2 Cs, 2 Ds. So if you get lost with your connector bars, just jump back to where you are on the chord chart, okay? Let's try this with the melody and see if we can go all the way through this. There's one more spot that's a little bit hard. It's bar 14. Let's try quarter notes in bar 14, bass line. Ready? Go. 2 Gs, A, G sharp, then D, B, G. So if you can find a way to connect any of those, do it. Try it. Goof around with it. If you're just on the bass line, that's fine too, okay? Let's do it together. We're going to play the melody here in the background, okay? And we're going to add connector notes if we feel like we can, all right? You guys ready? Here we go. 1, 2. the better you get. You have to figure out what rhythms will fit. Sometimes you land on your feet and sometimes you fall over and land on your head. That's part of the fun of this. It's like you're on a tightrope. Like, am I gonna fit? Uh-oh. Because when you think harder and when you start adding new things, you're stretching yourself and you're not good at it yet, right? You haven't tried it yet. So you don't always land on your feet, right? I mean, people doing back handsprings don't land on their feet the first few times they do it, right? Takes a while. And then you're going to adventure further, so you're going to fall down and not land on your feet again. That's the whole process. It's a messy, fun, interesting process that we're working on here. Okay, guys, write in the chat how you did with that. I hope that was helpful for you. Figuring out how to do the bass line is the first part of improvisation, because the bass note is the root note. All arpeggios stem from the root note. First we figure out the key, then we figure out the bass line, and we can play that bass line when anyone's playing the melody, right? Then we figure out the arpeggios, and we're thinking about rhythm the whole time, because when we're playing the bass part, we are the drummer too. We're keeping 4 beats per bar or 8 beats per bar, right? And the other person has to be able to hear your tempo. We have to be able, that's why it's really good to just do a simple 4-beat bass line, because the person playing with you can hear that. Bam, 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 bam. And when you get really, really fancy, the person can't hear the rhythm necessarily, right? Roberta said she did not too bad. How did everybody else do? Write in the chat how you did. And let me know if you're watching this later, how your bass lines are going, okay? And play along with it. You know, record a part on your phone. Record the melody on your phone with a metronome. Can you play along with it? This is not going to change. This guy's not going to change if you make a mistake, so you have to follow it, right? Wendy says, thank you. I got lost with the C sharp B7, but liked the connector notes. C sharp to B7th. What bar is that, Wendy? I don't see C sharp to B7th. C sharp to B minor. I see. Maybe bar 9, Wendy. 2 Ds, a C sharp, and a B. And then you land on your feet on an A in bar 10. Claire says she played the theme. She couldn't see any other music. Yeah, Claire, you're making it up. That's the whole point of this, okay? Do you see an alphabet letter above the staff? That's your music. It says D, right? The first bar, alphabet, D. That's the chord. That's your root note. You have to put that onto your cello. Go back and watch this again, because that is explained in the beginning of this, okay? All right, but it's good that you played the theme. That's good. It's fun, right? Okay, so everybody watch this again. If you're having trouble, Roberta says the rests are tricky. Yeah, because you have to count them in your head, right? You have to think the rest. And when there's a metronome going, it helps you to remember the rest, okay? All right, guys, I will see you next time. And it's nice to see everybody. Seems like this goes by so fast. Heidi says she did it. Yay. Haley from Tasmania. Nice. Oh, Heidi says she got a cello. Okay, never mind. Okay, guys, let me know how you're doing on this. And as always, ask any questions. Wendy says, I get it now. Happy Lunar New Year. Yes, Wendy. I will see you guys next week. And somebody, you know, video you playing this and post it in Cello Nation. Right? Adrienne always does when I ask her, who else is going to do it? I love it when Adrienne does it, but everybody should be doing it. Susan loves to learn to improvise. Yes, Susan in Scotland. Sure, Heidi. I got some wonderful pottery from Heidi. I'll post a picture on Cello Nation. It's really beautiful. And so I'll show you guys that beautiful pottery that the talented Heidi, who's now in Switzerland, sent to me. Joan says, where do you get chord charts? Go on Cello Nation. The best thing I can tell you guys to do is go on Cello Nation. You guys who don't know what's going on, you're not going on Cello Nation. Go on Cello Nation and check all the posts. I I post everything there before the class. You can go to the top of Cello Nation under featured videos, and that has all the replays of this month's classes. These are all Bridge Over Troubled Water. Now there's going to be 2 of them up there, okay? Also, there's a chat. There's always a chat for Cello Nation Bridge Over Troubled Water chat. I post them in there too, okay? Okay, guys, break off the paper. Have some fun. Be creative. I will see you guys next week, okay? All right. Bye, everyone. Don't forget to practice. Cello Guru out.